Very excited that you guys have actually responded and RSVP'd to actually come to such an incredible event. But just to begin things, I would just like, to create like a safe and a warm, welcoming space for the people who are here so that you guys feel free to talk about whatever's on your mind. So the first thing we're gonna do is like a very small like warm up and icebreaker activity. So I'm just gonna be trying to get from you guys like what the expectations from like these programs are. I think you guys, the email did detail that it was about entrepreneurship and the university just providing a space for entrepreneurship as well. I am Ayanda Duku. I am the president of the Wits Student Entrepreneurs Club under the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. I have a very beautiful team of like colleagues who are going to be speaking and giving some talk on like what is entrepreneurship and just like the vision of the Wits Entrepreneurship program for the rest of 2022. I have my deputy dean, people from the DVC, our stakeholders from YAE, and we also have DLU as well. And we're just gonna first get into it. I just want to find out from you guys, what are you expecting from today's program? So I'll just go around. If you guys want, you can just raise your hand, and then I'll just pick people for like 3 minutes, and you can tell me what you're expecting from today's program. Cool? Yes, I'm waiting for hands. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. The hard way has me pointing people and putting them up on the spot. So I'll try and be a good fellow. Yes?
So, expectation-wise, a roadmap for 2022, we are approaching the end of the first quarter, which means we've got little time left to go, just under a year. So, just roadmap.
Cool. Did anyone hear what the gentleman over there said? Okay. Second, expectations. Okay. Stacy.
Hi everyone. So I'm just like expecting to get knowledge about entrepreneurship, because I find that most students, just get into it without understanding the commitment, without like having some idea what to do, or most of the time students get into it because they're not sure what to take into because they're doing the stuff. I'll just not just like understand all the community around entrepreneurship, and also having to manage my time as a student and an entrepreneur as well. Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to create networks.
Awesome stuff. Can we give Stacy a round of applause? Yes, now I'm waiting for my ladies. I know that the entrepreneurial space, especially in South Africa, is one that is male dominated. So I'd actually love it for ladies to actually give like their view on this and what they're actually expecting from the program. There's a lady at the back with the afro who's standing out, the one looking behind. Hello, how are you? What are you expecting from today's program? Awesome stuff. Can we give her a round of applause? And now I'll take 2 more hands, and then we're actually gonna get into like the actual details of today. We have already wasted 15 minutes of our time, so I don't want to be wasting more time. There's a lady with dreadlocks and the yellow shirt. Can you guys all hear her? Please be audible. I can't hear you. Okay, stand up, please, and just like tell the rest of the room like what are you expecting from today's program. Okay, please project for her then. Cool. Awesome stuff then. And yeah, I think we can wrap that up. Thank you so much for the people who have participated. First of all, this mic I hate a lot because I'm one person. When I speak, I love moving around, and I feel that having to speak here is very limiting. But for the sake of the people who are streaming us on YouTube, I will have to be stationed here. The first person that I'm gonna bring up to the front to give a presentation and a talk is none other by my favorite Deputy Dean of Students, Mr. T. Mukhaladi, who is gonna address all of you guys on just the culture of like entrepreneurship in the university and just like how his office is actually contributing to the space. May you please give him a round of applause as he comes to stage.
Thank you so much, Ayanda. I actually admire Ayanda for his energy and his vibrancy all the time. I wish I could reverse some time and be like him at my younger ages. I don't know what time is it. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. Congratulations first for making it to this program. I know you are quite a very dynamic group of students studying in one of the toppest universities in Africa. Wits, it's just not a university, but one of the toppest or a toppest university. So that is why we calibrate all these sort of programs for you to plug into them and take full advantage of making good of your ample time outside classroom, because your time here in the university, the first thing that takes precedence is your academic commitment. Academic success is your first prime. So just as a matter of background, we have a department called the Development and Leadership Unit. It's headed by Neo. I don't know if you have seen Neo. Neo likes to sit back too much. There's Neo. Neo is a senior program advisor responsible for Development and Leadership Unit. So this beautiful work falls under the division that she's responsible for. So if you would see, I was actually reading quickly one of these, banners. There is an omission. There's supposed to be entrepreneurship work as one of the work that they are doing in that division. So we are committed in creating a unique, out-of-class environment for student personal growth and an intense self-discovery through exciting challenge in a form of core curricula. Entrepreneurship is one of those core curricula. So as we said during, you might have heard throughout the 3-week-long Gateway program where we spoke about core curricula, encouraging new people to, in your spaces, in your residentials, use them as a spaces of creativity. The Vice-Chancellor is quite very clear to say that the university spaces are just not there for sitting, especially the residentials are not just there for sleeping. They're also spaces for ideating, thinking, and developing ideas, because solutions of the future, solutions to the challenges of this country are going to come from you as young people in this particular country. So what is SEED? SEED stands for Simple Student Entrepreneurship Development. Risuna up there is our guy. He's going to come through and expand very extensively as to what does this entail. He's a guy that is very inclined with the ground, is very dynamic. He drives all the work that we are doing through the entrepreneurship work. But why are we doing this? You would be aware that we've got, I don't know if you are aware, we've got 3 categories of youth. This is how I categorize them. It's youth in school, youth out of school, and youth in conflict of the law. So now, what do we do with youth out of school, potentially youth that are seeking for economic opportunities, they can't get them? What do they do? Entrepreneurship has proven global-wise to become a solution to youth unemployment. So do we wait for our graduates, for students to complete schooling or their formal programs and then become youth out of school and youth out of economic activation? No, we don't. So we think that while you are engaged in your academic activities, the university creates spaces for you to start developing an entrepreneurship mindset, developing an entrepreneurial mindset, which could potentially become a side of an economic activity for yourself once you exit. And wonderfully, we have here our grand geek, Professor Barry Dolaski. Professor Dolaski heads up what we call the Wits Innovation Center. He will come and speak briefly about it. He is based in the office of the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation. So Wits has identified innovation as a very, very strategic niche where we need to go through. It has got a number of dimensions. I wouldn't want to delve into that, but entrepreneurship is indelibly one of those. So that is why we're saying that we want to cultivate and set you into a path of activation through creating an entrepreneurship mindset. On the 24th, there was an official opening of what we call Entrepreneurship Development Higher Education, EDHE. At the end of this presentation, you will see there's a small kind of a logo of EDHE. People think that that is an end, that is all what we are doing. We are not cultivating or activating you to compete in high EDHE competitions only, because EDH competition or intervarsity competitions is just one of the many entrepreneurial activities. That is why we've got Risuna, who is based in our office. He is going to be driving this SEED program, which is Student Entrepreneurship Development Strategy, which plugs into the week to ensure that even outside education, entrepreneurship development, higher education, EDHE, there is other opportunities that we seek, and there is activities that take place. What is one other such activity? We're embarking on a year-long program. Throughout these activities, we are going to be running your Student Entrepreneurship Week. We're going to be running boot camps that Risuna is going to be talking about. There will be hackathons, and there will even be an international exposure for students who are doing well, who are coming with groundbreaking ideas. We are in a process of finalizing an agreement with an entrepreneurial college in the US called Babson College. Our intention is to take 5 of the top mind, creative, groundbreaking entrepreneurs from our university to join a cohort of about 541 students across the world in an exciting week-long Babson Build entrepreneurship program in the US somewhere around July. I don't know if we're going to make it for July, Prof. That is what we are trying to do now. And we have been trying to speak to Professor Berry to do some sort of work of due diligence around that, so that at the end, whatever that we are doing falls within the premises of the regulation and the rules of this university. We've gotten a partnership, a wonderful partnership in form of the National Youth Development Agency, which has committed to say that, yes, we are willing to put in about 4 to 5 young entrepreneurs who are in social impact kind of business enterprises, innovation, general businesses, as well as lastly the ones who are in the space of ideation, ventures that are still trying to come up. So those kind of businesses, and those are going to be working closely with our 5 selected students, and at the end we form a cohort that is going to participate in an exciting week-long Babson Build program. That is over and above the exciting work that we want to plug into, that is enunciated in the Wits Innovation Center that is headed by Professor Dolaski together with Letlotlo. He will come and talk to those. So EDHE intervarsity competition is not just an only thing that we are doing. I know that the colleagues from EDHE, I don't know if they're here now, they are the ones who are supposed to be coming through. I don't know if Sandile is here to come. Is he coming? Or they are online. So EDHE is one exciting opportunity that we plug into. So through this kind of work that we are doing, taking you through a global exposure, taking you through Student Entrepreneurship Week, taking you through this kind of boot camps, it's your way of creating a ground for you to flourish at EDHE. Because last year, I must say, Professor Dolaski, I was embarrassed, and probably the colleagues at EDHE will laugh at me. There was no Wits students there, and that was upsetting. We are calling ourselves a Harvard of Africa, but yet at the national competitions of EDHE, which is a prime competition in the country on EDHE, there was zilch, no Wits. And I had to bury my head under the table. I'm not doing that again. I have quickly scanned your faces. I know your faces. If none of you are there in September, October, then we'll come and have a crucial conversation in this hall and say what went wrong. So perhaps let us enter into a compact that above all your academic commitments, you are going to use these particular opportunities and spaces that we are creating to ideate, develop exciting business ideas that are going to be groundbreaking and make us proud at an EDHE when they come and announce as to what is it that is going to be entailed in the entire plan. We have deliberately said that we want to launch. Why we want to launch? A lot of the applications that came through last year doing EDHE fell apart because they were either not completed. I hope none of you had started applying. The application started on the 24th. I hope none of you have started because Risuna and the DLU team are going to assist you in applying and making sure that you do proper applications. Because we had a lot of Wits students applying on an EDHE platform, but when we do the checking and the analysis, we found that only 15 or so had completed the applications. And after the 15, those who have completed the applications, only 4 of them were able to make it to the regional rounds. After the regional rounds, all of them collapsed. None of them could go to the national competitions. So that made us to lie flat on our stomach. We had no representation, which is something totally uncharacteristic of Wits. So this year, we are systematically ensuring that we are accompanying you through the support of Risuna. Risuna, please come through the stage and please come and expound on what our plan is. I've had some wonderful feedback. There's someone who said that I want to hear a roadmap. I heard someone saying that I want to learn more. I want to build networks. This is a platform that we are creating for you to start doing that. So I wish you well in this very short program. And I must mention and single out Tiamo. Tiamo is an SRC academics. She has developed an interest. Actually, she was worried, as we are worried, and said that Wits is not in EDHE. We are not there. So the SRC nearly wanted to take it upon itself to make sure that they are in EDHE. And said that, Tiamo, you are quite very late. Welcome, Tiamo, and please do activate the students to be part of this. Perhaps rise so that they can see you and know you. Tiamo, please rise so that that is Tiamo. Please just give her a round of applause. Yeah. So Tiamo is going to be part of our ambassador from the SRC point of view. She's going to be working with us very closely. We are putting her under our shoulder so that we make sure that we do the best in any of our initiatives that we are going to be doing. I hope that I've done what you asked me to do, sir. The platform is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Didi. And I would like to greet you all present today who are here in person, and I would like to greet all those that are attending online, just to say welcome to the Wits Student Entrepreneurship Education and Development program that is going to run, which the Deputy Dean has done justice in terms of giving an outline or overview of what this particular program is going to be. But if you can just then see on this slide, we are having how actually the community of Wits entrepreneurship is going to be for students in this particular year, some of which the Deputy Dean has spoken to. So we have the office, which is the DLU, that is responsible in terms of student entrepreneurship. But on top there, we have a center that is being established, or rather was approved. Prof. Berry will state it exactly in that way, that we have recently gotten an approval in terms of the Wits Innovation Center that is going in terms of all the entrepreneurship and innovation activities that are going to take place in the university and outside of the university in terms of the community involvement. But Prof. Berry will then speak more to that. So then we have in the middle there, the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute. Then we are linking the students together with the university in terms of the programs as an implementing partner to say, this is how we're going to be running the programs. And then I'll just go to what kind of programs we're going to have for the year and how we are going to be running those particular programs. And then we have the students, or rather the internal stakeholders first. So your internal stakeholders then are going to look at other entities within the university, or rather departments that are working on entrepreneurship development, from your commerce, law and management faculties, and then now looking into the Wits entrepreneurship clinic that is going to come about, and so on. And then from there we then have the Student Entrepreneurs Club. So the Student Entrepreneurs Club then is going to be the community that is going to link all the student entrepreneurs. That is you guys who are sitting here today, who are having an interest into becoming entrepreneurs or pursuing entrepreneurship as a career, or even just like having a side hustle as you are pursuing all your careers individually in terms of what you guys want to do. And then now we have the external stakeholders. And then the external stakeholders, that's when then we now look at institutions like your EDHE, as the Deputy Dean has spoken to it. We can now then go to the next slide. The next one. And then the next one. The next. Okay. So then now, in terms of the program, so we are going to have two categories of the initiatives that are going to take place, or that you guys are going to participate in for the year. So the first category is going to be what we call internal programs. So these are the programs that are going to happen within the university, not from outside stakeholders as described in the previous slides. So with the internal programs, we are going to have the official opening, which is now what is happening today. And then from the official opening, we're going to have Think. So Think is the Innovators Consortium. So this is where we are bringing all the students on a weekly basis to say, you guys can come through and present whatever kind of idea that you are having. You have peer review, and then we're going to be inviting experts in certain subject matters. For example, we're going to be speaking into design thinking, we're going to be speaking into market research, we're going to speak into other avenues that help you in terms of developing your idea, and also looking at prototyping, as well as to assist you and take you through what we call pitching, for you to be able to present your business to anyone in just like a space of 3 minutes, 1 minute in some instances, so that you're able to articulate what your business does and what you're looking for in terms of from any stakeholders that you may come across, and which is one of the most fundamental things in terms of the EDHE competition, for you to be able to pitch your idea, or rather your business that you are having. And then some of the things within the Think, we are going to be having mentorship. So mentorship is then going to be like pairing you guys with other people who are already in business, and then looking at other fellows that are also in the business school doing their Masters of Business Administration and other related courses to help you and guide you through your programs. And then also one fundamental thing about this particular consortium is that it is going to enable you to have peer mentoring, so that you'll be able to, you guys, like among yourselves, guide one another, as well as to create a platform, a space where young student entrepreneurs are also going to look at collaborating, because you may find that all of you guys have different skills and you have different expertise. Then how do we bring you guys together to ensure that you can work together and establish a venture that is going to drive measurable socio-economic impact in that way? And then the other initiative that we're going to have internally is consultations. So then they're going to be sessions where you can book in terms of you want to speak to a consultant, as the Deputy Dean has already stated, that we'll be sitting in the Office of the Development and Leadership Unit to help you guys and guide you through cultivating and nurturing or working on those ideas that you have, to help you in terms of what is it, or where can you find help for whatever element or support at each and every level, which I'm also going to speak to say that in terms of idea, these are some of the things that we're going to be covering and so on. And then we also have the mentorship, as I said. And then another thing that we're trying to work on, because common ground is that students have been complaining to say that even if we have a business or a side hustle, we are unable to advertise or market it within the university. Then we're trying to work on a way in which we can try and say, how can we promote student entrepreneurship within the university to ensure that your business is alive and present on campus, so that you are not restricted in terms of reach and the people that you are going to find on campus. Then now, we have the external. So under the external, we then have the EDHE, of which Sanele is going to do justice in terms of addressing. But some of the programs that they have, it's InterVarsity, the Student Indaba, Student Entrepreneurship Week. Some of you participated last year. And then they also have the closing and the awards, where people are then going to be making it to the finals in terms of InterVarsity and making those presentations there. And then we have the Babson College Exchange Program, which the Deputy Dean has already done justice in terms of addressing. We can then move to the next slide. Yes, so the support that we are going to be offering you at each and every level, we're going to look at, for example, in terms of venture ideas, we're looking at creating or developing a business model canvas. So we want this particular program to be as practical and as hands-on as we can make it, so that you guys do not just like come into programs, or maybe we just like have some sort of events just like this, but we want to create a culture within the university to ensure that it becomes a continuous thing, so that whenever you need support, we're able to guide you wherever you are as an entrepreneur, because there are those already, when they were responding to the call, they've showed that actually they're just having an interest. So we'll be able to also guide you in terms of, okay, you just have an interest, then what can you work on, and then how can we work on it? And then we then have those who already have venture startups, and then also the first one, we also have fundamentals of design thinking and many other things that we're going to look at. And then we have those who already help you in terms of how do you work on co-founder agreements if you are then going to collaborate and work together in certain programs. And then we look at prototyping. We work with TMC. We also have 3D printing and so on. So they'll be able to guide you in terms of if you want to make a certain prototype, how can you print it out? How can you develop that particular prototype? And then we also look at value stream mapping, market research fundamentals. And then also we then have venture impact in terms of looking at how are we going to establish a certain fund that then is going to also assist our students in terms of their businesses. So some of these things we'll be having them being rolled out throughout the year, and then some of them will be needing your input as our students through the Student Entrepreneurs Club. That is also going to be an effective tool for us to run this. Then we can move to the next slide. And then now in terms of the next steps, so you need to then sign up for the Student Entrepreneurs Club, and then where you're going to see Ayanda, who's leading the program today, and then it's also going so that we have a database of all the students that are in this entrepreneurship community, so that whenever there are any other activities or initiatives within the university coming from the Wits Innovation Center that you can participate and benefit from, and other stakeholders, so that we'll be able to communicate with you and keep in touch with you in that particular way. And then also, the other thing that we're going to look into is then assisting you to sign up for the EDHE InterVarsity. And then we are going to, after Sandile has given a presentation, we'll also be taking questions after this session to help you and guide you. But you can also set AMA consultations. We are going to share the contact details in terms of when can you set up your consultations to ensure that you get assistance that you need for you to be able to sign up for the competition. And as the Deputy Dean has stated it, we are going to work with you from the beginning of the competition until the end of the competition. So we need people who are going to be committed. And it is not just going to be about the competition only. It is going to be about the culture that we are building on campus of student entrepreneurs who are not only going to start businesses as students, but who are going to take their ventures out of campus and are going to create jobs and are going to create wealth for our economy, and are also going to make an impact in terms of the societies and the different communities that they come from. So this overall